War against ISIS is about to get bigger, and whether you call it boots on the ground or advisors, as the White House is calling it, for the first time, American ground troops are going to be based inside Syria. The Americans, all from special operations units, will be fewer than 50. Their mission, says the White House, to assist local fighters. It's a major policy shift that has many wondering whether the door has just been cracked open to an even deeper American ground rule. Chief Foreign Correspondent Richard Engel has the story tonight.
After thousands of airstrikes against ISIS in Iraq and Syria and 3,000 troops back to Iraq, today the White House announced a new step.
The decision that the president has made is to send fewer than 50 special operations forces to Syria.
In other words, American boots on the ground in Syria, something the president has said would never happen.
I won't commit our troops to fighting another ground war in Iraq or in Syria.
But today the White House argued nothing has changed. The troops will stick to an advisory role.
They will not be in a combat mission. Their mission is...
That's not their mission, but they could find themselves in a combat situation.
There is no denying the amount of risk that they are taking on here, and they will be equipped to defend themselves if necessary.
That left some military experts skeptical and angry.
This is domestic politics. There's an element of Alice in Wonderland to this press announcement. I think it's been rare in American military history to have seen micromanagement of military operations on the level of this White House.
The announcement came on the same day that talks on Syria began in Vienna, the U.S., Russia, Turkey, and Iran. But the change in military policy has been in the works a long time.
The decision to send some U.S. special forces into Syria is a recognition that simply what we were doing wasn't working. The situation on the ground was continuing to deteriorate.
A U.S. official tells NBC News the new plan is a three-pronged approach. In northern Syria, dozens of American special operations forces will deploy alongside Kurdish and some Arab fighters to battle ISIS. In northern Iraq, the U.S. plans to have a rapid reaction force to back up the U.S. troops and their allies. And in Turkey, more airstrikes launched from the Incherlik base by more aircraft, including F-15 bombers and low-flying A-10 Warthogs for close air support.
Although the White House today was at pains to admit it, the U.S. is stepping deeper into the war in Iraq and Syria, even though it insists nothing has changed and no promises were broken. Lester?